You are not burned out. You've lost yourself. Here is what I see, and I've been there. Many high performers are professional accountants of their own misery. You stack awkward meeting after awkward meeting. You stack failed interviews after failed interview. And every inherited limitation you accept as truth. And you stack it brick by brick, until that prison that you've been building are starting to be too narrow. And you feel that you are not in control of your future. You are not in control of your success. Let me ask you this question. Do you trust yourself? Most of you haven't asked that question for years because you've been too busy operating from other people's blueprints of success. Too busy to pause. Too busy to ignore what you truly wanted to do, what you truly wanted to achieve, how you truly wanted to lead. What I know to be true is that if you want more success and also enjoy more of life, you have to shift identity. And when I started this, I had no idea what it meant. I didn't know that you could shift identity. And I'll explain later how to do that, and also share some of the challenges that my clients face. And maybe some of these stories resonate with you, and you will get some keys on how to shift. Because what we focus on, we get. And you don't oftentimes get what you want. You get who you are. So if you want, or let me say, if you are unhappy with what you have in life right now, you get to shift your identity. Your outer world reflects your inner world. Your outer world, my outer world, is the mirror of what you think, of what I think about the world, about myself, and about your world, and about yourself. So rather than stacking failure after failure, after lost into after lost into, you get to focus on who you want to become. And I've been talking about this in a lot of videos about identity shift, because it's kind of a virus of lacking. We lack recognition. We lack a new job. But that is just a reflection of who you are within. So not only did I ask you, do you really trust yourself? Because many women leaders, also very successful on paper, they don't trust themselves. Because trusting yourself is not about being loud. It's about carrying yourself with authenticity. Also, when you have no one in the room who likes you, you still trust yourself. But we have, without questioning, inheriting a blueprint. And that blueprint for many women leaders are sabotaging where they want to go next. In this video, we're going to cover the blueprint lie, why acting as if you are confident in meetings is a trap, the mechanism of how to choose your internal state actually leads to authority being granted because you carry that authority already, not looking for it. I'm going to give you an analogy on self-concepts. Maybe you can see yourself in this story. The awareness trap of being exhausted in doing and operating from the wrong who, the wrong I. The bouncer, how to stop accepting other people's limitations and blueprints. And that's so important to understand if you want to achieve more life, is to stop operating from other people's blueprints that we have inherited and start designing your own. And I'm going to create some new videos as well on how to find your not next dream job, how to know what you're truly good at. So many of you ask me that. So I thought it was a good idea to do that. And also create a new video on balance isn't found, it's designed. There's no about work-life balance. It's what you decide to be true for you, because you can balance everything if you know how to do that. But enough about that. And then I'm going to give you also a daily drill to help you activate what I'm going to teach, because I love to be really practical. Let's open with a core principle, and something people struggle with the most is that this is just who I am. I hear it so often. And people who claim this is me is affirmation. And that affirmation keeps you locked in. It's like kind of a shoebox. This is me. But when you claim that to be true for you, you also claim that you cannot shift. But who you are right now is with a level of consciousness. Your next level of consciousness is your next level identity. And if you want to advance and also enjoy more of life, then the way to do it is to up-level your identity. Neville Goddard teaches us about this. I'm giving you my insights on how I help my clients. But this is just who I am is false. This is who you are right now, who you claim to be, but it's not fixed. It's not the truth. There's not so many truths in this world or in this life, right? So you can actually upgrade your identity. So if you said, I'm burnout, well, that was the old you. Who are you now? What new healthy boundaries do you set in your new world, which your old self didn't say? And also, another core principle in this video is that your next level of freedom comes from choosing a higher level of consciousness, a higher level of mental peace. Because what thoughts are you occupying? What thoughts are you telling yourself? What narratives are you telling yourself that you believe to be true? You believe more in your own stories than other people's stories. I often say to my clients, I trust you. If you trust me back, we can go really deep very fast. But if you're stuck in what you believe to be true, then you also believe that the world and your reality cannot change. And that is really a danger zone to be in if you want to land your next dream job, if you want to be promoted, right? Then you want to be curious about what mental state you are choosing. And even better, you want to live from and breathe from a higher level of mental state where you have inner peace, where you are not triggered. That was something I worked with my client on today. What is it that you really want to have in life? How do you really want to show up? And look at who triggers you. It's often a couple of people, the same situations. That is your identity right now. But how do you actually want to show up? And I know for sure that if you shift and when you shift, your outer world shifts. That's really interesting. So the diagnostic in this is that you're not burned out from workload. You are depleted because you live in a wrong who and you operate from a blueprint that doesn't serve you. We have often been told to be nice, to say yes, and that oftentimes leads to burnout because we do not take care of ourselves. But the moment you take care of yourself, then the world has no other choice but to reflect that back. And as my clients go out and do this, something I really help my clients with is to set healthier boundaries. At first they are afraid, I cannot say that. But they experience very fast that when they set healthy boundaries, when they know where their values are, and they say no with an open heart, then people respect that. But we're not being told that we can say no, and that ego mind, the clutter, you cannot say no, you cannot say no, will they like me? And what happens is that you say yes and yes and yes, and you're burning out, and you're not taking care of yourself. Your next, that's one level of identity. That's the old you. Who is the new you? That is the work that you want to do. You had one truth at your old self, a default self, but your next self, what new truths does she hold? It's easy to say, but it requires willingness, determination, and discipline to operate from these new truths and have a human moment. Say, all right, now that was the old me. That was the old Camilla coming up. I don't say at home, why? Hi, what am I still here to heal? Because it's a green flag. There's something you can heal. So I want to give you a blueprint analogy. I want to give you a story, an analogy. Imagine two people running for the same job. One is operating from a blueprint. I don't know really what I bring to the table. My old boss was really mean, and they probably don't really like me. The other candidate runs from a blueprint, right? I am the secret weapon this company needs. They have almost identical CVs, running for the same job, two in line, but they're running from two very different blueprints. And with a blueprint comes energy, and energy is contagious. One plays small to avoid mistakes and avoids friction. The other one speaks boldly because he carries his worth. And question 2. I think it's pretty obvious, but in the moment it can be really difficult to break free. That's what we train in my world. Who do you think will get the job? It is the one who runs on a more successful blueprint. And that is the work that you want to choose. Be curious about the blueprints. If you are stuck in a reality that doesn't serve what you want to have, be curious about the blueprints, be curious about what you believe to be true, and connect with your next self, with your new identity. That is the work. And that new identity holds new truths, holds new beliefs, carry herself in a different way. And as you do that, there is no other way than the world reflects back your confidence. And I mentioned in the beginning, you cannot act confidently. You have to grant yourself that right now I'm confident. And we train that in my world with my clients is being a trusted advisor doesn't come from more trust. It comes from claiming that I am a trusted advisor. I know my worth And I am here to help you go from where you want to be to where you want to, from where you are to where you want to be. So it's a giver economy where most people come from a taker economy. Again, to very different identities, to very different frequencies. We have a few more minutes. I want to make this powerful and short. One thing more I want to give you is the identity trap. We've been taught in school to do more, to be more available. And we think that more effort equals more trust, and more trust leads to promotion. And when we're available, we are seen, we believe, and we are appreciated. I think we are appreciated when we are available, but it doesn't equal that you get promoted. And you have accepted a truth that limits you. And it is going to affect how you show up. It's going to affect that identity trap that you have to work harder to get that next level of promotion. The identity, as with my clients, was longing for more love from her parents. They were not able to give her what she wanted. And when she was given love or received love from home, it was oftentimes through language. We love you, we see you, appreciate you, but she didn't feel the hug. She didn't get the hug. And then at work, when the executives did not use that language, she started to question herself. She found herself in an identity trap. She started to question herself. There was nothing wrong with her. She was so brilliant, but she did not believe her because she was used to the outer world giving her back confirmation that she was good enough in a very specific way. And she was looking at one corner at work, and it was very empty because there was no verbal appreciation coming from her bosses. But there was many other things in the other corners. But she didn't look at that because she hadn't trained her mind to scan for other things. So as we were leaving that corner and looked at the rest of the room, there were so many opportunities emerging for her. And it was a new world opening for her. And that is to say, the identity trap comes with frequency, energy, and it keeps you because it's a trap, so it keeps you stuck on a frequency that gets you more of what you don't want. It doesn't get you what you want. And if you want to start, if you want more success and you're tuned into the victimhood frequency, that see, they don't like me, I'm not appreciated, I cannot say that, then it's very hard to get what you want. You get to upgrade your frequency. Bob Proctor was teaching this. Frequency, elevate your frequency. So instead of being tuned into frequency, radio station 88.1, you want to find the frequency that flows with more abundance, with love, right? So it's your work, it's your identity that has to be up-leveled. And we do that also in the workshop that's coming up next week. I dropped the link in the description below. It's all about breaking the inherited blueprints. It's all about breaking the identity that you're running on right now and choose. How do I want to show up? How do I want to feel? How do I want to serve? And the moment you allow yourself to be powerful, the moment you allow yourself to flow with abundance, then people can feel that. That's frequency. And then more opportunities are coming your way. In all this, imagine a house 4 walls. Right now, you have a house, you build a house, and that house contains limiting beliefs, some truths that you just believe like, this is just who I am. But as you shift identity, you're also gonna shift house. You're gonna move into a new house with new walls. What do you want to have inside those walls? What do you want to allow into your house? And what thoughts do you no longer want to listen to? What thoughts do you no longer serve your identity? That is the belief system of a house, my bouncer metaphor. And whenever there's a limiting belief that comes up, whenever there is, this is just how it should be, right? That doesn't serve who you want to be. Then you say to that thought, all right, go to another person. This is no longer for me. Let it out of your system. That work needs to be done if you want to upgrade your identity. If you want to, and if you commit, because it's all about committing, that right now I may be a bit too aggressive, I may be a bit too in victimhood, right? Then it's you to choose. This is my old identity, and this is my new identity. And as you step into your new identity, then you also step into a high level of frequency and a trusted advisor. And that trusted advisor vibrates and beams on a different frequency. And you will see the effect when you not conform, when you are committed to maintain those 4 walls of your new belief, or your new belief, a house of beliefs. Let us call that it. Nay, let us call it the house of beliefs with the 4 walls. So what I would like for you to go practice, because I like to be practical. Today, take a piece of paper and define who you want to be. If you had everything in your life right now, how would you show up? How would you carry yourself? What would you believe to be true? Write that down. Write that next level identity, right? Oh, and then write, right now I'm this, I'm triggered to this, but I'm no longer allow those triggers to be in my new world. As you have these 2, old identity and new identity, and I do this work with my private clients because it's so important if we want to fast track our success, then continuously connect with that next level. Before you do anything, tap into that next identity with that next level of frequency. And as you go to bed at night, go to bed with that new identity. Where as you go to bed with the new identity, you marinate your subconsciousness. You marinate your belief systems. You marinate and upgrade your nervous system. And it's going to be marinated as you sleep for the next 8 hours. And when you wake up, before you do anything, lie in bed. And I did a video on that as well. Connect with your next level. Connect with what you want to achieve today, who you are, what you have achieved already, and how you're going to operate. It's going to be a game changer for you if you commit to, I'm not going out of bed before I can feel my next level, before I can feel what it feels like to operate from my next level identity today. And then you get out and you brush your teeth differently, you shower differently, because you have become a different version. Yes, you will have a human moment. We all are humans, but it's about practicing operating from that next level identity. I love being practical, so let me give you a daily drill. Today, or when you have more moment, write down who you are right now, your old identity, and then write at the same piece of paper your new identity. And be curious about where you play small, where you are triggered, where you run on limitations or assumptions that acts or become your upper ceiling. And then choose, what's my new reality? How do you want to show up? Like, I was triggered in my then identity, but I'm no longer triggered in this identity because I upgraded my consciousness. Do this audit. And then before you go to bed, reflect on, why did I get triggered? Or when did I get triggered? And why did I get triggered? And then say, but tomorrow, I no longer want to be triggered. When this shows up, I want to act like this. What happens is that you train your brain to look at your wins. You train your brain to step into your next level of identity. And the more you train your brains, the less you see the struggles. And that is a really powerful way to go from feeling burned out to remembering how powerful you are. Walking into a high-stake meeting while operating from a blueprint where you count more struggles and victimhood than wins will almost only create friction and lead to burnout. But it doesn't have to be like that. And that is why I'm running an almost free workshop coming up next week. The link is in the description below. And if you want to work with me, there's also a link. It would be lovely to have you there. Remember, when you shift your identity, your world can only reflect that. I know you can do this work. Now go.